Hey friends, Ash here with gentsscents. Hope you're doing really well. The other day I was browsing on the internet, just looking through a whole bunch of different fragrances, and something caught my eye. Something I didn't even know existed, and really I don't even know if the brand that makes this knows that it exists. Because you can't find any information about it. You can't find a note breakdown. You can't find what it's supposed to be inspired by. The brand that makes this, their website is down. So I figured, let's go ahead and buy that. Let's buy that thing. It is Reyane Tradition Insurrection 2 Sport. In this video, I'll show you guys the presentation like always, break this one down for you and let you know what I think it's a clone of. So let's jump into this. As I mentioned before, Reyane Tradition's website is down right now. Technically it says it's under construction, that it'll be up soon, but it's said that for a long time now. So who knows? Let's go ahead and check out this presentation. On the front, just says Sport, right down in the corner. On the spine of the box, Insurrection 2. On the back of the box, you've got Reyane Tradition, Paris Parfums, the ingredients, a lot of information here on the back. Then on the top and bottom of the box, you have the Reyane Tradition logo. Your batch code is actually going to be on the side opposite the spine where the box opens up, and it's right here printed in ink. You got this little pull tab, and when you give that a pull, which this one's actually kind of hard to open, the bottle sits right down inside this cutout, inside of this almost velvety feeling foam. Then you have this pull tab, which helps you eject the bottle. And then here is your bottle. This is your standard Insurrection 2 bottle design. Actually looks really good when you consider the price here. Actually the whole presentation, really good when you consider the price. On the side of the bottle here, this is a little metallic feeling sticker. It says Insurrection 2, mine's a little bit scuffed up, but who cares? This one doesn't have a gradient. A lot of them do, this one does not. On the bottom, you've got some information etched into the glass. The cap does click into place. And the atomizer has the Reyane Tradition logo on top of it. And this atomizer is not very good. It actually sort of wobbles. So here it is. Can you see that? It kind of wobbles to and fro. So what happens is when you give it a spray, it doesn't really go down smoothly when you press the atomizer down. It's not really a big deal, but it does feel kind of cheap. I'll go ahead and waste a couple sprays for you guys here. There we go. It's not so bad when you get it right in the middle. Inside of the box, you'll also find this little card that has some of the brands that are underneath this Paris Parfums. And I did reach out to them. Their website actually works, but they didn't respond. So this, worthless. Now this is not quite as worthless. It is a sample of an as of yet unreleased Reyane Tradition fragrance, at least from everything I can tell. Insurrection 2 Pure Le Parfum. And then on the back it says, if you've liked the eau de toilette, you will fall in love with highly concentrated perfume. That's what it says. And then you've got this little sample right here. And I looked online for Insurrection 2 Pure Le Parfum, can't find it anywhere. So as far as I can tell, it doesn't exist yet. And it seems to me that they're putting the samples inside of Sport so that whoever buys this is gonna be on the lookout for that whenever it comes out. So that's kind of interesting. So Insurrection 2 Pure, in case you're unaware, is a Creed Aventus Cologne. So it smells very similar to Creed's Aventus. And now you have the Le Parfum, and I did spray this on once, but I'll give it a spray on this tester strip. It's really birch heavy, smoke heavy initially. And then it dries down to feature more of like a darker woodsy Aventus vibe. So essentially, best as I can tell from this right here, Insurrection 2 Pure Le Parfum, whenever this comes out, is gonna be a really smoke heavy Aventus clone. So that will be interesting for some of you when it's out, I'm sure, but it's not out yet, at least that's what I can tell. But this one is out, Insurrection 2 Sport. So what is this one a clone of? Looks really aquatic. It's got this kind of turquoise color to the bottle. So that made me think, this one, Chanel Allure Homme Sport. But side by side, pretty different. I'll tell you what I think this is a clone of though. Again, there's no information about this online. Reyane Tradition's website does not exist for all intents and purposes. Can't find the notes, nothing about this. But it smells really similar to Aventus Cologne. Yes, Aventus Cologne. So they've got Insurrection Pure Le Parfum coming out, and they've got this one to emulate this one. So that's really interesting here. Reyane Tradition apparently took a look at their lineup and they were like, you know, we sell a whole lot of that Aventus Cologne. Let's do more of that. That's good. That's a good business plan. Let me break down really quickly how this one smells. I'll let you know whether or not it's a good alternative to this one. So when you very first spray this on, there's a little bit of an alcohol tinge. Not a whole lot though, and it goes away pretty quickly. So that's not gonna really matter whatsoever. It has a citric, orange, and ginger combination right as soon as you spray this one on. Seems like there's some additional fresh spiciness in there as well, along with the ginger. And you get this fresh kind of green tinge that provides a nice contrast to the sweeter orange and ginger combination. The ginger in here is really sparkly when you first spray this one on. Gives almost a light kind of aquatic feeling when mixed with the other notes. And there's a decent amount of sweetness off the top, but not a cloying, bubblegummy type of sweetness, which is a good thing. Now I will say that this is not an exact clone of this. Like, it's not a one-to-one where you go, oh, it smells literally exactly like Aventus Cologne, but it's really close. This one, Aventus Cologne, is much quicker to get into the woodiness in the mid and the base, the vetiver, the birch. This one gets into that a lot quicker. Insurrection Sport stays sweeter for longer. That being said, this one does shed a good amount of that sweetness as it dries down, and then it starts to match up a lot closer to Aventus Cologne. It just takes longer to get there. After about 45 minutes or so, Insurrection 2 Sport is pretty much like Aventus Cologne. Yeah, I mean, it's like it in the opening. Like I said though, it just takes longer for this to get to the woody part. So if you spray these on side by side, this one's gonna stay sweet longer, but after about 45 minutes, pretty similar. It becomes a fresh woody scent with little hints, just little hints of smoke, and then some remnants of that sweetness from the opening. Now, as I mentioned before, originally I thought this was this, or it could be this rather, but when I sprayed them on side by side, not really all that close. This one has more of a creamy citrus, and as it dries down, it focuses more on tonka and vanilla, whereas this one right here, yes, it's got some sweetness, but not in a creamy way, and as this one dries down, it takes on more of those woody facets like this. So, all this being said, Insurrection 2 Sport, is it a good alternative to Aventus Cologne? As in, does this smell like it's well put together? Does this smell potentially really chemically or sharp or abrasive or overly synthetic? Anything like that that would kind of disqualify it from being a good alternative to Aventus Cologne? No, this is actually a really good alternative to Aventus Cologne. Now obviously, this one over here is going to smell higher quality. This is going to be overall the better fragrance. But this right here is astronomically more expensive than this. And for the price that you can get this for, the quality is actually really, really good, surprisingly good. And I would say the quality here is higher than in Insurrection 2 Pure. As far as what you're gonna find in the price range that this one falls in, you're gonna have a pretty difficult time finding something that smells as good quality-wise as this, which is a big surprise. Let's talk really quickly about performance. In terms of longevity, about 6 hours. So not amazing, but not terrible either. It's kind of close to what you get from this one right here. And then in terms of projection, more moderate. So on the whole, this is really an average performing fragrance. In terms of when you would wear it, spring and summertime, it's more of a daytime fragrance than a nighttime fragrance. Good casually, good to the office. And if you're gonna go on a daytime date in warmer weather, it could work there too. So overall, Insurrection 2 Sport, actually pretty good. Insurrection 2 Extreme, didn't really care all that much about, but this one, solid. And then Insurrection 2 Pure Le Parfum, if you do pick this up, you'll get a sample of it. You can check that out and see what they've got cooking as far as smoky Aventus goes. And actually, just off a tester strip, not too bad. So it is a bit boring that it's yet another Aventus Cologne, because that's what the world needs. The world needs more Aventus Colognes. But this one is technically an Aventus clone, so slightly different. If you're wanting a little bit of that Aventus flavor, but you don't want to spend that Aventus money and you want it for warmer weather, absolutely 100% check this out. There we go, Insurrection 2 Sport. Reyane Tradition They don't even know that this thing is out. They don't even care. They're like, advertise that fragrance we just made? Ah, whatever, man. Have a website that works? Not necessary. Provide notes? No. Randomly make it and have it pop up at stores with absolutely no explanation whatsoever? Yes. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.